This is Hot Mike.
Hot Mike.
On the networks of WDAY.
WDAY.
Here's Dom Izzo.
Welcome back, everybody. Hour 2, ready to rock and roll on this Tuesday morning. Dragon head football coach Steve Lockway will join us about a half hour. Looking forward to that conversation as MSUM's back practicing. We'll get to that coming up in just a little bit. We mentioned yesterday, big news on the basketball front. It's been a busy couple weeks here, recruiting-wise, for both the Bison men and women. For the second time in as many weeks, the North Dakota State class of 2027 has been added to. We introduced you to Maya Killian last week from New Prague, Minnesota. The Bison stayed in the state of Minnesota for its most recent commit out of Sleepy Eye. You know the Mathiowetz name. Maddie's been a tremendous player for the Jackrabbits for the last couple of years. Her younger sister, Morgan, announced yesterday that she is going to play basketball in the Summit League as well, this time at North Dakota State. And she joins us this morning, getting ready for her junior year of high school. Already a 2,000-point score. The accolades are crazy. Thanks for the time this morning. We were just visiting off air. You committed a couple weeks ago, so if you had to keep this a secret, or how the last couple weeks gone?
Well, I committed to Jory, and then I was kind of waiting to tell some family before I announced it, but we went on a road trip with my family, so that kind of gave me a little week to kind of just get things together. And then when I got home, I kind of decided that I wanted to tell everyone and then post it so that everyone can see. So
okay, now obviously the question I have is tell an older sis, how did that go down since she's a Jackrabbit?
Yeah, she was excited for me. I think she knew that I kind of wanted to carve my own path and go my own way. So we kind of had talked about that and just kind of what I wanted to do with my future and kind of what I was leaning towards in college. And I think she's excited for me, but I promised her I would cheer for her one more year, and then so.
I have to ask, you mentioned that you're just about to start your junior year. And I think for people, Morgan, that don't know, in the women's game, the offers come early. And I know you got offered early, but does this still seem like I have a lot of high school left before I even think about college?
A little bit. I think the recruiting process definitely starts earlier now. I think that's been a big change over the past couple of years. So just already being in the process for 2 or 3 years already has been kind of just ready for it to happen and kind of ready to make that decision. But I think it's kind of a little bit at peace knowing that I know where I'm going in college, and now I can just really enjoy my last year of AAU and then my last 2 high school seasons.
When did you first get contacted? Or a coach say a college basketball coach? How young were you?
I think it was summer after my 8th grade season.
Holy cow. So
Yeah.
You saw your sister go through it, but for now you're experiencing. What do you remember about that?
I think the biggest thing was just kind of realizing that you need to enjoy it and not let it be a stress factor in your life. I think that was the biggest thing, and just building those relationships and really kind of it's not really an easy decision to make sure where you want to go. So I think just kind of realizing the things that you need to have in a college and the things that maybe aren't so important. So I think at a young age, it's kind of hard to understand that. But as I got older, it kind of got a little more serious and just kind of maturing throughout the time.
Did it ever get overwhelming?
Yeah, at times for sure. I think for the most part, it was always a good experience, positive. But there were times where just trying to fit in calls throughout the week when I'm busy with workouts and practices and stuff like that. But coaches are pretty flexible, which is really nice.
I'm just wondering, you're getting messages, I'm assuming, from people you don't know. Hey, can you call? We'd like to chat. Can you describe what that was like I'm assuming probably on a daily basis?
Yeah, I think it was exciting for the most part. I think just being able to like I said, build those relationships with different coaches. But I think the more you had them, it got a lot easier as time went on. I think the first couple when I was that young, it was just what do I say? How do I answer? But I think it got easier as time went on, and just kind of being able to respond in mature ways and things like that.
How much did older sis help on that?
A lot. I think that was a really nice thing to have, just being able to kind of know what the process is like and kind of what you can expect going into the process, and then also kind of what you expect playing at that level.
So tell us about basketball. Has it always been this? Was there another sport, or was hoops always number one?
I played volleyball, basketball, and softball when I was younger. I still play high school volleyball, actually. So volleyball's been starting recently and just kind of getting into that season. But I think the passion has always been with basketball. So kind of once I knew that that's what I wanted to work on, I just kind of decided that college basketball was something that I was interested in. And then I just kind of never looked back after that.
I have to ask, what were games like at your house? I got to imagine they were pretty intense.
Yeah, for Dad's a very competitive person. He played college baseball, and there's a lot of basketball in my family. So just after games, sitting down and being able to get like just reflecting off the games and getting advice from everyone has been really nice.
You guys have some pretty, serious pickup games just in the driveway?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. A lot of 1v1 that goes on.
uh, the success at your high school is well known. Maddie was an amazing player. I remember NDSU actually recruiting her for the Jackrabbits came in. Tell us about the lineage of Sleepy Eye and trying to live up to that and having your own. You mentioned carve out your own legacy of having a great success at your high school.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a big thing is just the success we've had at our school. It's kind of just a legacy that we've had there is we want to be successful in everything we do, and we can kind of try to play. We're a really small school, so just everybody's involved in everything, and we just kind of work hard at everything we do. So I think that's definitely been inspiring for me, just being able to kind of follow the people that were in front of me and kind of follow the path that they laid down.
How often do you get either compared or maybe mistaken for your sister? Is that how often does that happen?
Yeah, it happens a lot, but I'm all right with that. She's a pretty good person, so.
So describe your game for Bison fans that are getting to meet you for the first time. How would you score a lot, obviously, but give us the lowdown on how you would describe your game.
Yeah, I would say I'm a little undersized, so I'm a quick guard. I usually play point guard or shooting guard. I can score at 3 levels, and I like to play the game really fast. So a lot of times you won't see me slowing the game down. I always try to speed it up and try to be a pesky defender. So I think that's definitely one of my strengths is just kind of getting up on the ball and just always trying to create opportunities for my teammates and kind of make an impact on the game.
I know Jory, it's music to his ears because he loves to push the ball all the time.
Yep.
When you are out there, like, what are you most confident? Handling the ball, shooting it? Where are you most confident when you're on the basketball court?
Yeah, I would just say kind of having the ball on a string. I feel like the ball is always kind of in my hands, especially at high school, just because we're a small school and the ball kind of always tends to be in my hands. So just being able to control the game in that way and kind of being able to decide what kind of things happen throughout the game.
You made it to state last year, which is not an uncommon occurrence for your team. What was that experience like? And now, hey, we made it to the semis. We want to go one step further this year.
Yeah, honestly, that was definitely like a dream come true for me, just making it to the state tournament. I think that's been one of my biggest goals throughout my career. So just getting there was just really important for me. But now I think just knowing that we made it there and now we know what to expect this next year and just kind of wanting to take our game and our team to the next level. I think for sure we want to get back to that semis game and kind of get that revenge a little bit. But I think just continuing to work throughout the season and do all the small things will get us there.
You played at the barn. I have to imagine there were some college coaches in the building as well. Did you know that? Did it add pressure? We want to win. We want to play for the state championship. But you had to know there were some probably, inquisitive eyes that were in the stands that night.
Yeah, I think I kind of had a little bit of background that they were going to be there. But I think honestly, in the moment, you kind of just forget about all those things. And it's just kind of the game that just happens and you just kind of want to play. So I think it's kind of always in the back of your mind, but also you just kind of want to go out and play the game. So.
All right, so give us the time when NDSU got involved and what stood out to you about the Bison.
Yeah, NDSU was actually the first school to ever reach out to me. So they were definitely there from day one. So I think just like the relationship part of it was huge for me, just knowing them and getting to know every one of the coaches over the past 2 years was just huge. And knowing that they've all been there for 4 years already was just really kind of felt good to me, just knowing that they were all kind of in it with each other and they don't really have any plans leaving anytime soon. So that's the biggest thing. And just knowing that Jory's to really turn things around the past couple of years. When he came in, I mean, they weren't having great success and now they're one of the top in the Summit League. So I think just knowing that he's there and he's willing to put the work in and wants to make his team the best that he can. So I'm just really excited.
You got it up. You know the Summit League, obviously, from what Maddie's gone through. What was there anything you were looking for out of NDSU, or like I know the competition level already. I know I can play there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think for sure. I think the Summer League's it's a great league. I think it's just like the perfect you're in the area. I'm really close to my family,
Yeah.
so I want to stay closer to home so that they can make most of the games. And I have some family up by Fargo, so that was kind of fulfilling knowing that there'll be people there and just knowing that they've been really successful the past couple of years, and I know they're reaching for more in the next couple of years. So I'm excited to be a part of that.
Okay, two things on that. The amount of Minnesota girls, Morgan, how big a deal was that? That either you know or played against or just have some background. Was that because Jory has made that a huge deal of recruiting the state of Minnesota?
Yeah, I think for sure just being on campus and kind of talking to a lot of girls that are from Minnesota. And honestly, there was a handful of them that are from the same AU club that I'm
Yeah.
with right now. So just knowing that they kind of know I know they had to go through with Minnesota Fury and kind of what they expected from them and how that translated to the college level and just knowing that they've been successful there. So
So what was his reaction when you made your decision, when you called him?
yeah, he was pretty hyped. Yeah, it was really fun. I called him and he said he was gonna go celebrate, so that was really fun.
Did you celebrate, more importantly?
Yeah, I did. I was actually at my lake house, so we did some celebrating the next day. So
You mentioned family. If I have this correct, I believe the Hendricks family, that's cousins of yours? The Jimmy Football, one James Hendricks, they're cousins of yours? Is that right?
yeah, James is my cousin.
Okay,
Yeah.
so how big a deal is that? I mean, he's a Bison through and through. You mentioned family. How much of a connection was that?
I think that was a big part of it. I think just knowing the success he had there. Obviously, it's a different sport,
Yeah.
but I think his time there was great. And I mean, he moved up there, so he loves the area. And just knowing that he'll be there, and his family's close by in Bemidji, so just knowing that there'll be somebody there if I ever need anybody. And I try to stay in good touch with him. So yeah.
To have this done, I'm interested. Do you imagine the phone will still ring? Because I mean, you don't have to sign anything for a while yet. Will coaches still reach out? How will you handle that if that happens?
Yeah, I think for the most part, coaches kind of respect that aspect that you've made your decision. But obviously, if anything would come up, I would just kind of let them know that I've made my decision and that working on building my connection with NDSU and kind of getting ready to be there in the next 2 years.
So it's over and done with. Does it feel relief, excitement, a little bit of both? What are the emotions even today? Like it was out there went viral yesterday that this is over.
Yeah, I think definitely when I posted, it felt more real, just kind of letting everyone know. But obviously, I'm really excited. Can't wait. Time can't go by faster to be there. So, but also it's a little bit of relief knowing that I can kind of just focus on them and kind of work on the things I need to work on to get better before I get there and kind of continue to build the relationship with the coaches.
Now, for people that don't know, Sleepy Eye, you're down, New Ulm, Mankato way. Give us the area of basketball around there. What's the kind of nightly games you have in terms of challenges you guys are facing?
Yeah, I would say a lot of the schools around the area are pretty small, so we don't travel very far to play. But I think we stay competitive with the teams we play. We try to kind of work on everything when we play schools around here. But then obviously, like non-conference, we have to go a little further to kind of get some good games in. So I think just really trying to focus on those and kind of getting good competition throughout this season.
Who's the big rival? Who's the one you guys get up for the most?
Um, well, in our conference, we have a public school in our town. So I would say over the years, that's probably been our rival, kind of just going to the other side of town, they say across the railroad track. So I think that's been a pretty big rival over the years.
All right, so Maddie's career number is 3762 for career points. You're over 2,000. Is that the goal, to break her record?
Yeah, I would say I would definitely since I've been little, I've kind of wanted to follow in her footsteps. So I think just kind of she kind of set the example. So now I kind of have that stuff in the back of my head.
So is she okay with that? Have you told her, hey, I'm aiming for your record? It's not going to be there that much longer?
Yeah, some of my family usually gives her crap about it. They're like, "Your record's not gonna be there very long," but hopefully goes well and stay healthy, and hopefully it'll happen.
Last thing before I let you go, and I really appreciate the time. Describe the bond you guys have, and now each of you are going to be playing Division I basketball. How big a deal is that?
I think it's really cool. I think just kind of sitting back and realizing how much work we put in and kind of all the unseen hours that we spent in the gym with our dad. Our dad's been a big part of our success. He's willing to go in every night after games and kind of just work on things with us, and just being able to share that bond with each other. And that's kind of one thing that we've both been passionate about for many years, has been kind of important with how close we've been. So I think just being able to continue to work together, and kind of once she moves on with basketball, then she can kind of mentor me through my next 4 years. So that's just been really nice to have somebody like her to talk to.
Have you told her she's got to wear a Bison shirt to a game? Has that come up or not yet?
Yeah, she said she'll wear them to my game, but then she was like, "I'll still wear my Jackrabbit stuff." But I was like, "As long as you don't wear it to our games, that's fine."
My last thing for you, you play for the Minnesota Fury, and I think people that watch my show know the level of talent that is. But describe that, of how much that has made you better, that AAU team, and the players you're playing with are also going to be playing, for the most part, Division I. How has that changed your game?
Yeah, I think that switch was really important for me, just kind of realizing the kind of level of commitment it takes to
Yeah.
play at that level. I think that was definitely the difference. And then obviously when you get to college, it's even more. So just kind of preparing me for that. And obviously my teammates are all amazing. I think they're all going to be so great wherever they choose to go. So I think just being able to play with them, and kind of, it feels like you're playing in college, but you're just playing in the summer. So I think that's been huge. Just the practices are very, very highly intense. So just kind of getting to know what that feels like, and kind of what it's going to take to play at the Division I level.
Morgan, this was awesome. Thanks so much for the time. Congratulations. Enjoy the rest of summer. Have a great year. We'll be following, and thanks so much for the time.
Yeah, thank you.
Morgan Mathiowetz joining us from Sleepy Eye, Minnesota. She's the third member of the Bison class of 2027. You heard me right on the stats, by the way. Averaging over 33 a game. She's already well over 2,000 points. If you've not seen Sleepy Eye play, I believe their game from last year at State is available online to go back and check that out. But if anybody who watches our show, and I know we have a bunch of Jackrabbit fans that watch, know Maddie's game. I think it's similar, certainly size-wise as well. And Maddie Mathiowetz has become, I mean, you look at SDSU's team, third best. I mean, they're going to go through some transition with the players they lost after last year's team, but Mathiowetz is top three player on AJ's team coming back for this year. She held her own. If you watch the games in the NCAA tournament, there's no doubt about that. All right, we'll break. Got caught up. We got a few emails we'll get to. And again, Steve Lockway, Dragon head coach, going to join us in about 10 minutes time. Back on Hot Mic on a Tuesday morning. Beautiful day out after this.